revolution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Beat in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then take it. Like a disease, bring them to their knees. No pain for their disease. Just like a weed. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the one and only DJ Storms, and I would like to welcome each and every single one of you here to a very special edition TGI Tuesday stream. And of course, we are streaming live on 4 different platforms across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different accounts. And my God, do I look fucking amazing. And I'll get into why I look so amazing in just a minute. But as of course, you already know who I am, Mr. Controversy and the operator of the best damn X, formerly known as Twitter, handle, no. Shit. Do you smell that? Do you know what that is right there? That right there is the smell of pure fucking excellence. Wait for it. Wait for it. Two-man. And this is the official rundown for WWE Payback 2023, which of course is streaming live on the Peacock, that is. Get your mind out of the gutter, you fucking savages. Peacock, this Saturday from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Got some people in here. We got Sarah Habka, got Dylan, got Dee Dee, got Peanuts. Plenty of good people. And I'm sure we're going to see a lot more good people. And if you're wondering why I look so goddamn good, it's because I got me a nice new camera. And yes, we got the TV in the background once again. Look at how great that looks. And I got Payback 2020 playing in the background. That's what we got going now. Now we got the TV in the background. It's no more crazy zoom. No more crazy zoom. Now we got ourselves a nice, healthy picture where you can see all of me, not just the top of my face. And of course, we got Payback 2020 playing in the background once again. So if you guys are down to guess what plays in the background throughout all my streams, you are more than welcome to do so. Just like me, just like this beautiful picture that I got going on, this amazing new camera. Obviously, it's even better when I got two awesome social medias in which you can follow me on. You can follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter, and Instagram at HistoryMakerDJS. Once again, that is at HistoryMakerDJS, both on X and Twitter. You can add me on Facebook as well. For collaborations and business inquiries, please send me an email. Send me an email. My email is, of course, StormsTakeOver@gmail.com. All you need to do is like the official DJ Storms business page, and I may just send you an invite to join the official DJ Storms Posse group on Facebook. That is, all of those links are in the description, and we are actually live on the DJ Storms business page as we speak. Shout out to Brittany K. Of course, she is one of my biggest supporters. She is a wonderful human being, and I am very, very honored to call her a friend. She does beautifully crafted designs from scratch on her iPad, whether it be of professional wrestlers, whether it be of X banners or X Abbeys. If you want yourself a beautiful drawing, beautiful graphic design of a professional wrestler, she is your girl. Go and follow her on X and go follow her on Instagram. Her X account is Brittany K 5150. And of course, her Instagram is at Brittany K Design. So shout out to her. Always, always a pleasure having her as a friend. And of course, PWP Nation, got to shout them out. PWP Nation, created by Mr. Jay Leto. Shout out to him. PWP Nation, I am officially partnered with them. If you guys want to check out PWP Nation, go check out the website. The link is in the description, as well as the link to the PWP Nation Facebook page, which I will be streaming the Lightning Flash update live on the PWP Nation Facebook page every single Saturday, with the exception of this Saturday, mainly because of the fact that I'm going to be down in North Kakalaka for my cousin Andrew's wedding. Shout out to him. I'm going to be leaving early on Friday morning at 5 fucking a.m. Thank my father for that. Anyway, so no LFU on Saturday, but I will be back in the game for the rewind for WWE Payback on Tuesday. That is Tuesday, September 5th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you guys want to hear my thoughts and opinions on WWE Payback, I will be reviewing that when I get back from North Kakalaka. And of course, next Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, you'll be able to catch my thoughts on AEW All Out. Of course, AEW All Out is streaming live this Sunday from the United Center in Chicago, and I will still be in North Carolina. Matter of fact, I will be driving back from North Carolina. It is going to be a hike, to say the least. As far as right now, you will be able to catch me on the AEW Dynamite Watch-Along with Sarah Hapka, who is currently in the chat right now, and Earl Colbebe. That is tomorrow. We're going to be going live on the air at 7:50 p.m., and we will stay on the air between 8 and 10 p.m. We are dissecting the Fallout Dynamite from All In and the go-home show for AEW All Out. Speaking of All In, if you would like to catch the rewind for AEW All In, the link is also in the description if you're watching on YouTube or if you're watching on Facebook. So go and check out the rewind for AEW All In if you have not already done so. I believe we recently surpassed 100 views over there. So if you guys want to help boost the view count and boost the like count, go and check that out. And then finally, on Thursday at a special 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. start time, it will be the rundown for AEW All Out. I will be able to preview and predict everything regarding AEW All Out and all the festivities that will be going down this Sunday in the United Center in Chi-Town. And to answer your question, Mitch, I got a new camera, and it looks absolutely amazing now, doesn't it? It has beautiful focus, and it keeps up to date with everything that I do. Ain't it great? Ain't it great? I wish I could say the same thing about Payback. I really wish I could. Listen, we all know that WWE and their builds towards these premium live events, especially this year, has been absolutely terrible. This year may very well have been one of the worst years for WWE weekly television in a long, long time, because they just do not put any effort into Raw. They don't put any effort into SmackDown. And when we get to the pay-per-view, we go into this pay-per-view with absolutely zero expectations, and the pay-per-views end up being a very good show, with the exception of the Royal Rumble and SummerSlam. But coming out of SummerSlam and that first Raw following SummerSlam this month, that first Raw following SummerSlam was damn good. And then ever since then, everything just completely fell apart. I'm looking at this card up and down, and I'm not even going to bullshit you. This legitimately looks like a house show. This is a house show that they're trying to pass along as a pay-per-view. And again, that all falls on WWE Creative. It all falls on WWE Creative, and it falls on them being lazy, not putting effort into their weekly shows, not putting effort into the rest of their roster, and not spreading the wealth amongst the rest of the people that are employed in the company, minus the bloodline. I don't really need to go over this. You already know this. If you've been watching me, you would know what I have been saying week in and week out. I have been educating everyone that comes through the stream, and I have been educating every single individual that I talk to on a weekly basis regarding this issue. This should come as no surprise to anyone. Now, could it be a good show in the end? Possibly. But they really haven't given me any reason to believe that it's going to be a good show. Just feels like any other typical WWE pay-per-view with the build. And if anything, there's only two matches that I'm really looking forward to here. The best built match on this show was legitimately LA Knight versus The Miz. Yes, you heard me correctly. The Miz had the best built match going up into this pay-per-view. They sold me on night one when they had a promo battle, the Raw following SummerSlam. But that's not even one of the matches that I'm looking forward to. The two matches that I'm looking forward to is Raquel Rodriguez and Rhea Ripley, because I'm actually genuinely intrigued to see what Raquel Rodriguez is going to do. I'm genuinely interested in seeing what Raquel is going to do, because the last time I remember is those two, Raquel and Rhea, those two had some great matches down in NXT. Specifically, that last woman standing match at New Year's Evil about 2.5 years ago. A little bit over 2.5 years ago, actually. Matter of fact, Rhea Ripley helped elevate Raquel Rodriguez when she was Raquel Gonzalez in NXT. Rhea Ripley legitimately helped elevate Raquel Rodriguez to the NXT Women's Championship. If it wasn't for Rhea, Raquel would have never gotten an NXT Women's title run. It's that match, and then Rollins and Nakamura for the World Heavyweight Championship. And that's simply because of who those two men are. Now, I'm not going to say that the build has been horrible. It's not been a Becky Lynch, Trish Stratus type of build. That's been the worst feud of the year. But I mean, if you're going to tell me that these two individuals, Rollins and Nakamura, have gotten the proper reverence that they deserve when it comes to a major match on a pay-per-view for the World Heavyweight Championship, you're lying to yourself. They have not gotten the proper showcase. They have not gotten the proper reverence. They have not gotten the proper effort that they deserve. And that's sad. Before we get into the preview and predictions, I actually want to go over a couple of news, rumors, and reports here. So, my first report here, normally I would be a little bit more happy about this report right here, but this report, if you ask me, is kind of laughable right here. According to WrestleVotes, WWE reportedly views Solo Sikoa and Gunther as main event heels for the next decade. It's funny that you mentioned Gunther, because last time I checked, Gunther is the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, and he does not have a match on this show. And then, after a lot of people complained that Gunther and Chad Gable was not going to be on the show, Better Wrestling Experience actually came out and said The reason why this match was not put on the show was because Triple H did not want to overstuff the pay-per-view. So let me get this straight. You give a pay-per-view spot to Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus in a steel cage match, the worst feud of the year. It may very well be the worst women's feud of all time. It may very well be the worst women's feud of all time, but yet you give them a spot on the pay-per-view, but you do not have any intention of putting Gunther and Chad Gable on the show. What about the Grayson Waller effect? You have Cody Rhodes, who is supposed to be one of the faces of the company. You got Cody Rhodes appearing on this show in a talk show capacity with Grayson Waller, not even in a wrestling capacity. Cody feels completely fucking directionless, but yet you cannot give me Gunther, who has easily been the best act on WWE television, probably since coming out of WrestleMania. Gunther and Chad Gable has been the most intriguing thing in WWE all month. Coming out of SummerSlam, Gunther and Chad Gable have been number one. They have been the best thing on WWE television, period. But yet you can't give them a fucking pay-per-view spot. How about you take the Grayson Waller effect off the show? How about you take Becky and Trish off the show? How about you give me Gunther and Chad Gable? Or how about you give me a Charlotte Flair versus an Io Sky? Listen, I fucking hate Charlotte Flair. I hate the bitch. She's an entitled, manipulative piece of shit. But at the end of the day, at least that would have came off like a bigger pay-per-view match than a fucking Grayson Waller effect with Cody Rhodes or a fucking steel cage match with Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus. What are we doing? Seriously, I know Earl Cole has this catchphrase, but what are you doing? It's supposed to be your last pay-per-view. This is the last pay-per-view of the summer here. And this is what you're giving us? This is the final pay-per-view of the summer of 2023 before Labor Day, and you cannot find a spot for Gunther and the Intercontinental Championship. I'm sorry, but that is absolutely inexcusable. You find time for the Grayson Waller effect with Cody. You find time for Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus, which may very well be the worst women's feud of all time, but yet you can't give me, you cannot give us a match with Gunther and Chad Gable because you don't want to overstuff the pay-per-view. How about you take the matches that no one gives a fuck about? How about you take the matches that are absolutely unnecessary off the show and you give Gunther, who may very well be the greatest Intercontinental Champion ever, how about you give him a showcase? How about you give Chad Gable a showcase, who right now is getting the most babyface reactions out of anyone besides LA Knight? Gunther's not on the show. Absolutely inexcusable. Oh, and that's, let me tell you something. That's just the tip of the iceberg right there. Wait till you hear this. Wait till you hear this. That's just the tip of the iceberg right there. That is just the tip of the fucking iceberg. Shout out to Eagles Uncensored. Thank you very much for stopping by, man. You're awesome. It was announced by WWE that John Cena, yes, you heard me correctly, John Cena, as in you can't see me, as in yeah, at John Cena. John Cena is coming back to WWE this Friday on SmackDown, and there's more. And he's going to be on every single Friday night SmackDown for the next 8 weeks. Now, I'm going to take a sip of my ice water right over here. I'll let you guys contemplate on that. Let me bring out my comb, actually. I don't think I brought this comb out yet. I'm so fucking pissed off at this news about John Cena. I legitimately forgot to give you the Just an off day for me. Let me comb this beautiful new haircut that I got today. Now, Let me fix my fucking camera. I feel like it's a little off to the... There we go. There we go. That's a little bit better. Now, normally, I wouldn't have a problem with Cena coming back. Because John Cena is not a guy that's really overexposed. They usually just bring Cena back to put over young talent. That's pretty much it. I don't necessarily have an issue with John Cena specifically coming back. What I have an issue with is the intention behind John Cena coming back. Not from him, but from WWE. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't a report come out a few weeks ago that WWE was putting the Bloodline storyline on hold? Didn't a report come out a few weeks ago saying that WWE was going to put the Bloodline storyline on hold? It was taking a breather. And WWE was looking for other superstars on the roster to, and I quote, step up. Yet here they are, bringing in John Cena for the fall season because Roman Reigns ain't going to show face on WWE television until we start the build towards the Saudi Arabian show in November and then Survivor Series right after that. I mean, you want to talk about hypocrisy? That is hypocrisy right down to the very last letter. And the fact that more people are not discussing this, the fact that more people are not talking about this very topic is just beyond me. WWE, they have wanted people to step up while Roman Reigns and this Bloodline storyline is going on hold. So you're telling me that guys like Seth Rollins have not stepped up? You're telling me that Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens have not stepped up? You're telling me that guys like LA Knight have not stepped up? You're telling me Io Sky has not stepped up? All these individuals have stepped up, motherfuckers! Why are they not where they need to be? Because WWE Creative, i.e. Vince, i.e. he does not give them the proper effort. He does not put the same amount of effort. Hell, he doesn't put 15% of the effort that he puts into Roman and the Bloodline into the other people around him. You can have people say, that all the executives can say, oh yeah, Bruce, I want people to step up. We need people to step up because the Bloodline storyline is going on hold and people are going to show us what they got. And when they show me what they got, man, it's going to be such good shit, pal. You want people to step up, but yet here you are bringing in a part-time John Cena to appear, pretty much begging him to appear on the next 8 episodes of SmackDown. Meanwhile, you have a roster full of talent that have barely gotten 5 minutes of television time per month this year. Look at AJ Styles and Karrion Kross. They have been going back and forth in a feud with absolutely no fucking heat. Their matches are decent. The matches on SmackDown are decent, but the feud's got no fucking heat. What about Karrion Kross? You telling me Karrion Kross hasn't stepped up? Guy's been putting on great matches with everyone that he stepped into the ring with this year. Rey Mysterio, Shinsuke Nakamura, AJ Styles. And what have you done with him? Nothing. Loss after loss after loss after loss after loss. AJ Styles, completely fucking directionless. What about Austin Theory? Coming out of the draft, you did nothing with Austin Theory and the United States Championship. He was barely a focus on the show, and the United States Championship was completely disregarded. After that triple threat match with Bobby Lashley and Bronson Reed at WWE Backlash, he was completely discarded. Look at the mid-card on SmackDown. Grayson Waller, Austin Theory, Santos Escobar, Cameron Grimes. Where's Rick Boogs? Rick Boogs hasn't made one fucking appearance on SmackDown since getting drafted. Cameron Grimes, when was the last time we saw him? 5 weeks ago? 6 weeks ago? Where is he? You're doing nothing with him. What about Io Sky? Now, granted, it's a little early, but she's not even on the pay-per-view. She's not even on the show. But yet you want people to step up? People can step up. People have been stepping up. What about Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens? They stepped up. What did you do with them? Had them play Ring Around the Rosie in matches with Imperium for about 7 weeks, and now they've been playing Ring Around the Rosie in matches with the Judgment Day all goddamn summer. LA Knight. LA Knight, you're telling me LA Knight has not stepped up? He's the most overact in the fucking industry, minus Adam Cole and MJF. What are you doing with him? Zilch. Nothing. LA Knight stepped up. All you needed to do was give him the United States title. And now look at where he is. Feuding with the fucking Miz. Where does LA Knight go? Cody Rhodes. What about Cody? Cody Rhodes is legitimately directionless. He's directionless. Coming out of a feud with Brock Lesnar, which made no sense to begin with. The guy is fucking directionless. Electric Downfall. You're right. You're right. WWE isn't for me. I do have a brain. Yes, you are correct. Because WWE caters to retards. John Cena coming back just reeks of desperation. It reeks of desperation and it reeks of hypocrisy. After the report that came out saying that the Bloodline storyline was taking a breather and WWE wanted other people to step up, here they bring in John Cena, taking away TV time from other people like Karrion Kross and Grayson Waller and Cameron Grimes and Rick Boogs, Io Sky, many other people who have been waiting for the opportunity to showcase to WWE management what they can do. And yet here is WWE management getting desperate yet again and neglecting their full-time talent for a part-time John Cena. And it's not even John Cena himself that's the problem. This just goes to show you that WWE continues to be lazy. They don't care about creating new stars, and they will never learn. This company will never fucking learn. It really just pisses me off. Really pisses me off. I swear to God. I can only sit here and hope for the best. I really can. I sit here and I hope for the best when it comes to this show. I really do. But I don't have high hopes. I don't have high hopes whatsoever. We're going to preview and predict everything that's going down at Payback. Once again, I thank all of you for joining the stream. You guys are great. I greatly appreciate all the support from every single one of you. Let us talk about the WWE Women's World Championship match. This is Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez. I'm not going to tell you that I've really been blown away by this build. It's not been horrible, but you could have really done a lot more with Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez. And if we're going to be quite honest with each other here, the build for this match has been very, very, very stereotypical. The stereotypical build of, okay, here's a dominant champion, and they finally found someone who can match their size, who can match their strength, who can match their speed. And in this case, Rhea Ripley, the dominant world champion, is being challenged by Raquel Rodriguez. We've seen this numerous amounts of times. It's nothing new. It's nothing crazy. It's a very simplistic, a very blah filler feud. That's pretty much what it is. This is a filler feud. Rhea Ripley has really done nothing with the Women's Championship outside of a great match with Natalya, which we saw on the Raw following Money in the Bank almost 2 months ago. Now, I will say this. Raquel has actually been pretty okay. Raquel has actually been pretty okay this year from an in-ring standpoint. She had a decent showcase in the Rumble. She had a decent showcase in the Elimination Chamber match. She had a decent showcase against Ronda Rousey last year in December. Raquel's not bad. The problem is that it's very, very hard to get behind Raquel when WWE has not gotten behind Raquel. When WWE does not get behind someone, it's hard for us to get behind someone. Unless you are as charismatically gifted as LA Knight, it's very, very hard for anyone to get over on their own if WWE does not give them the proper opportunity. WWE gave LA Knight 0 opportunities, and he got over because he is just that damn good at what he does. Raquel, I can't really say the same thing, because Raquel does not really have anything that the audience can emotionally attach themselves onto. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. That just tells me that she just needs more attention. She needs more attention from WWE Creative, and she's not gotten that. However, like I said earlier on the stream, these two have put on some really, really, really solid matches down in NXT, especially the last woman standing match. So, based off of that, if anything, I would probably would have made this a last woman standing match. I probably would have made this a last woman standing match because these two are great in that last woman standing match almost 3 years ago. But I am very intrigued to see what Raquel will do. Now, the question I have here is this going to last to the next pay-per-view? I can't really decipher who else there is to challenge Rhea Ripley after she beats Raquel, because Rhea's not going to lose this. There's no reason for Rhea to lose this match, no reason whatsoever as to why Rhea should even be a thought as to not come out victorious here. The question is, who else really is there? Now, after Becky and Trish get done with each other, which we will talk about that a little bit later on, but after Becky and Trish get done with each other, Becky Lynch, more likely than not, in my eyes, would be a very nice opponent for Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler and Becky Lynch, that realistically is the best route to go for both of those women, where Shayna could potentially avenge her loss from WrestleMania 36 over 3 years ago. But what exactly do you do with Rhea Ripley? Shayna should absolutely beat Becky in that feud, and then Shayna could absolutely take on Rhea Ripley. If anything, I would have Shayna be the one to take down Rhea Ripley. But outside of extending this feud, I don't really know where else Rhea Ripley would go. Unless they bring back Liv Morgan. I'm not sure how injured Liv Morgan really is. Last time I checked, she did indeed have a shoulder injury, and she needed to take some time off. That shoulder injury has actually been pretty aggravated. This is the second time this year, I believe within a 6-month period, that she's out with a shoulder injury. So if anything, maybe she is not ready to come back. If she is, then that would more likely not be the right route to go. That would absolutely be the right route to go. Liv and Rhea, because they have history. They have history when Liv was tag teaming with Finn Balor and AJ Styles, feuding with Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley, and Edge when Edge was the leader of the Judgment Day before he got kicked out within 2 months. That would be intriguing. I wouldn't mind that as well. But if anything, I don't know. I can honestly see some type of screwy finish. I don't want to believe that. I really don't. I don't want to believe that, but something tells me that there's going to be some sort of a screwy finish, and we could end up seeing this match again at Fastlane, but this time with a stipulation. I'd probably have to say maybe they do the last woman standing match at that point. Maybe they do. Who knows? Maybe they do the same ending that we saw on Monday Night Raw. Maybe we see the same ending that we saw on Monday Night Raw with Chad Gable and Gunther. And that could technically count as a loss, but Rhea would be protected, and she wouldn't lose the championship. It gives Raquel the victory. It gives Raquel another reason to continue to go after Rhea Ripley, because if Rhea Ripley wins, then Rhea Ripley wins. But Raquel potentially winning via countout, that wouldn't necessarily be a bad idea. I know I preach all the time that countouts and DQs, they should not happen on pay-per-views, but this may very well be one of the few scenarios, the few times where it wouldn't be a bad idea. We'll have to wait and see. But If we don't get that, I'm absolutely going with Rhea Ripley to retain. I'm not really sure how they get us to another match at Fastlane if they want to go that route, or if Liv Morgan is ready. The only logical individual that would be ready for Rhea Ripley would be Becky. And if anything, I feel like they're going to save that for WrestleMania 40, because that's a big-time match. I don't know. We'll have to wait. We'll have to wait and see, I guess. But Rhea Ripley, if you ask me, Rhea Ripley is more likely than not going to retain that championship. No reason why Raquel would even be a thought to walk out the Women's World Champion. She'll get there. Listen. She'll get there, but she's not ready. We got The Miz versus LA Knight. Yeah. Miz and LA Knight. They got this match for the pay-per-view. And I said in the beginning of the stream that this was probably the best-built match going into the pay-per-view. I'm not going to lie. This was probably the best-built match going into the show. But that does not mean that this is the matchup that I'm looking forward to the most. I already told you that it's Rhea and Raquel and Seth Rollins and Nakamura. However, I don't really mind this feud. I didn't really mind it whatsoever. Miz has been okay. LA Knight's always great. If anything, I feel as though LA Knight could legitimately turn anything that they give him into something that'll work, at least for the time being. I'm not really sure how much longer this Miz feud is going to work. Truth be told, I really do hope that this is a one-off. But the question that I have is, and this is me always thinking about the future. LA Knight wins, and he should win. LA Knight gets the win here. Where do we go with him after Payback? Because logically speaking, the best route for LA Knight to go in is LA Knight winning the United States Championship. And oddly enough, the United States Championship is the next match I'm going to talk about here. If Santos Escobar and Rey Mysterio is the route that they're going, and Rey's going to drop the United States title to Santos Escobar, what are you going to do with LA Knight? LA Knight feels like he's going to be slotted into that Karrion Kross role, and he's going to get lost in the shuffle. Karrion Kross is completely directionless. He's literally the definition of lost in the shuffle. I don't want the same thing to happen to LA Knight. Unless this feud continues, I don't really know where else we go with LA Knight other than the U.S. title. If anything, I would say, fuck it. Fuck Santos Escobar. I'm giving LA Knight the United States title. I'm having him beat Rey Mysterio at Fastlane. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe, now that I think about it, maybe this is a decent route that they could go in. I'm not sure if they are going to go in this route, but I wouldn't mind if we see LA Knight versus an AJ Styles. That would be a decent little feud to carry SmackDown in the fall. If they want to, that could very well be one of the best things on SmackDown. Now, how do we do that? I don't know. But if anything, maybe a heel turn for AJ Styles could suit him well. Because the OC right now is really not doing much as baby faces. But then again, you do have the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley. They're doing their thing, and they're pretty much teetering on the verge of being heels. Now you got the OC potentially turning heel. I don't know. I just don't really see how you do an LA Knight AJ Styles feud with both men being baby faces. Maybe you could do a throwback to their TNA days if LA Knight was around when AJ Styles was in TNA. I don't know. I never watched TNA religiously. I never did. It's very, very weird. It's very, very odd. It's very odd. I almost don't know. I almost don't know how to attack this. Because there's no reason why this match should continue after Payback. This feud and this rivalry, this little mini feud for LA Knight, there's no reason why this should continue after Payback. Now, granted, a feud with LA Knight and AJ Styles could be good, but how much longer will this fire, will this magnetic babyface reaction for LA Knight continue? I don't know. I really don't know. It's very, very weird to even think about because it almost feels like, I really don't want to say that they are, but it feels like they are. And being that they are WWE, this seems like a WWE thing to do. It almost feels like WWE really is trying to sabotage LA Knight. What The Miz is saying, it's almost like they're shooting on LA Knight. It's almost like The Miz is pretty much giving you a glimpse into the future of what they're going to do with LA Knight. I don't want that to happen. I don't want that to happen at all. I think that would be a terrible thing. That would be an awful thing to happen. But this is WWE for you. This is WWE. This sounds like something that they would do. Again, I would say fuck Santos, and I would give LA Knight the U.S. title. Strike while the iron is hot. Are they going to do that? Probably not. Probably not. But in the end, no reason why The Miz needs to come out victorious here. This match should result in nothing less than an LA Knight victory. And if it doesn't, you're going to be hearing from me, WWE, all right? And a lot of people will be hearing me complain about it when I review Payback when I come back from North Carolina. But there is absolutely no reason why LA Knight should be losing this match against The Miz. LA Knight gets the win with the BFT, and hopefully we move on. It's either LA Knight or AJ Styles, or LA Knight wins the U.S. title. Speaking of the United States Championship, Rey Mysterio, he is defending the United States Championship against Austin Theory. A rematch from 4 weeks ago where Rey Mysterio virtually squashed Austin Theory. I really don't care. I really don't care. This is just another lame rematch that WWE decided to throw on the pay-per-view. I'm still trying to figure out why you didn't just have LA Knight defend the United States title on SummerSlam. United States title has been completely disregarded, and truth be told, I'm very, very fearful that that's going to happen after Gunther loses the Intercontinental Championship, because you know it's coming. After Gunther breaks the record, then we are absolutely going to be talking about Gunther potentially losing the Intercontinental Championship. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Rey Mysterio should not be the United States champion right now. All of this could have been avoided if they would have just given LA Knight the title. But then again, who am I? Who am I? I'm just a 24-year-old Jersey kid who screams about pro wrestling in front of a camera. I mean, if the story here is Santos Escobar, I really don't see any reason whatsoever as to why Rey Mysterio should lose this match. Austin Theory, he's another one. Austin Theory's another one. I feel like he's going to get lost in the shuffle too. Where does Austin Theory go? All these guys, Austin Theory, Karrion Kross, AJ Styles, Sheamus, Rey Mysterio, once he loses the title, Santos Escobar, Cameron Grimes, what are they fighting for? What is the main prize? What is the main prize on that show? Main prize is being held hostage by Roman. This is why Cody should have came out victorious. You could have easily have had Cody stay on Monday Night Raw with the Undisputed Universal Championship. You could have inserted the World Heavyweight Championship for SmackDown. And Roman Reigns could have done the exact same thing that he did with Jimmy, Jay, and Solo, going throughout the entire spring, the entire summer, heading into SummerSlam. You could have done the exact same thing, but Roman would not have the title. And again, Roman Reigns going 120 plus days without defending the championship. Inexcusable. Inexcusable. Where does Austin Theory go? Honest to God, where does he go? They have completely neglected Austin Theory so much to a point where he genuinely does not feel important. Coming out of the draft, he just does not feel important. It's pathetic. It's honest to God pathetic. His U.S. title reign started off so damn good. Great match with Rollins. Great match with Lashley. Great Elimination Chamber. He beat John Cena. Fun triple threat match at Backlash. And then everything just fell apart. And then he got squashed by Rey Mysterio. Listen, I do not have a single issue with Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio is one of the nicest, one of the most genuine individuals on this planet. He is amazing. Rey Mysterio, Hall of Famer, legend, whatever you want to call him. He is exactly the type of individual that I would want on my roster. He's a loyal soldier. He's amazing. He's carved a legacy that many people could only dream about. But does he deserve to be winning championships in 2023? Listen, I'm sorry, but no matter how good Rey Mysterio is, no matter how much of a fan I am of Rey Mysterio, in no way, shape, or form should Rey Mysterio be discussed as a man to be winning championships in 2023 when you got guys like Austin Theory, Santos Escobar, Rick Boogs, Cameron Grimes, Karrion Kross, many others, Grayson Waller. Again, no reason why Rey loses this match. This just seems like a way and a means to get Austin Theory finally out of the United States title picture, and we will be off to the races with Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar probably going into Fastlane, and maybe if anything, because I really don't see anything that's going to pop people on the show. Maybe we see Santos Escobar and the Legado del Fantasma, maybe they turn heel. Maybe Rey beats Austin Theory, and maybe they turn heel. Who knows? It's a possibility. I'm not sure if it's definite, but there really has not been much tension brewing between Rey Mysterio and Santos, unless they start the tension, unless they start causing that tension on SmackDown, because on SmackDown, we got Rey Mysterio and we got Santos Escobar taking on Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. Maybe we see some miscommunication, some tensions brewing between Rey and Escobar, and we see Austin Theory and Grayson Waller get the win on SmackDown. It's a possibility. Wait and see what happens. But in the end, Rey Mysterio will be retaining the United States Championship. Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus. It's a steel cage match. And I hope to fucking Christ that this is indeed the end. We have been at this for 5 months. Feels like 5 fucking years. There really isn't anything that I could say much about this program and this feud that I have not already said. I'm not even going to lie to you. It's actually brought Becky Lynch down. This feud has legitimately ruined my genuine experience. This feud has legitimately ruined my overall feel, my overall vibe with Becky Lynch. Coming out of WrestleMania and what we saw at WrestleMania with Damage Control, Lita, and Trish Stratus, coming out of that should have been the end. That should have been the end. Trish Stratus should not have been anywhere near close to television. I don't even know why she's been on television for this long. Then they inserted Zoe Stark back at Night of Champions. Night of Champions, legitimately, that show, Night of Champions with Becky and Trish, that one match, I believe it went about 14 minutes or so. That one match was the only saving grace about this feud. Outside of that one match, that was a pretty damn good match, I'm not going to lie. Both Trish and Becky showed up to work. Listen, I hate this fucking feud, but I'm fair. I'm very fair when it comes to criticisms, especially like this. That was a damn good match. But outside of that, there hasn't been anything regarding this feud. Nothing whatsoever. Nothing to sink your teeth into. Matter of fact, it's legitimately been painful to watch. Not even going to lie. It has legit been painful to sit on my gamer chair with the lumbar support and my head pillow on the chair. It has legit been painful to sit there and watch Trish Stratus struggle. And I mean struggle to cut a promo. It's like she doesn't even know what she wants to say. Does she go over anything in her mind that she wants to say? Or is she just that fucking bad at cutting a promo? Oh my God. Very, very, very bad promo skills by Trish Stratus. And then Becky's trying. She's been trying for God knows how long. She really has. I'm not going to say she hasn't. She has been trying, but it's just not fucking working. It is just not fucking working whatsoever. It hurts me. It legit hurts me to sit here and watch these women just make a fool out of themselves. Whoever thought that this was a good idea, I swear to God, whoever thought that this was a good idea should not be employed by WWE whatsoever. This shit is just absolutely unbearable. And I mean unfucking bearable. Knowing them, they'd probably continue this shit to Fastlane. I hope to fucking Christ this is the end. I'm not even lying to you. I expect complete and utter disaster. We thought that Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler was the worst match of the year. We thought that was a bad match at SummerSlam. I am not even lying to you. We could very well see the absolute worst match of the year with Trish Stratus and Becky Lynch. Trish Stratus, she looks completely out of place in that ring. She does not look comfortable in that ring whatsoever. It is downright sad. I'll say it once, I'll say it again. Unless Trish Stratus is in my bed wearing nothing but the cowgirl hat, I do not care for her. I don't. I legit don't. Stick to posting bikini pics on Instagram and leave the professional wrestling to the women that are actually good at it. Where does Becky go after this? I'd like to hope that it's a feud with Shayna Baszler. Because if anything, Becky and Shayna, if they are given the ball to run with, they could give us a damn good feud. And I mean a damn good women's undercard feud. I'm talking about like 2016, 2017 SmackDown good. That because they did a very good job with their women's undercard feuds. They really did. And if anything, if you give Becky and Shayna the opportunity to be themselves and to do what they need to do to get that feud over, they would absolutely kill it. Trish Stratus, I hope she goes home. The one thing that I'm going to be questioning is what's going to happen with Zoe Stark. Because Trish obviously is not sticking around. It would be completely idiotic for her to stick around. What happens with Zoe? Becky Lynch, I guess, kind of gave us a little insider into what's going to happen. Because Trish Stratus, when she goes, she's not going to take Zoe Stark with her. Zoe Stark's going to stay right there. Could Zoe Stark and Becky Lynch continue the feud? I think I've seen enough of Zoe Stark and Becky Lynch as well. They've had a couple decent matches here and there. I'm not going to lie. They've had a couple decent matches here and there, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, yeah, I want to see Becky and Zoe continue their feud. And even if Zoe moves on to something else, Zoe Stark, at the end of the day, she's not going to be challenging for the championship because then she'd have to turn babyface. And Zoe Stark, if anything, she's much better as a heel than she is a babyface. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. But Zoe Stark, I'm actually genuinely worried for. Becky's already a made woman, and so is Trish. So when Trish goes goodbye, I am not going to give a single shit. Becky, she's already a made woman. I don't really give a shit what she does, but if she's got a feud with Shayna Baszler waiting for her, that's going to be great. But what happens with Zoe? Have Becky win. Becky wins, and that's the end of that. Becky wins, goodbye, see you later, Trish, and don't come back. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus Damian Priest and Finn Balor for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. It is a Steel City street fight. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this is going to be a bad match. I'm not. Because it's not. It's going to be a very good match. It could very well be the match of the night. It really could. But the problem is that it's just the same fucking match over and over and over again. There's nothing different. It's the same fucking match, the same variation that we've been getting with this match for the entire goddamn fucking summer. Same thing. It is very, 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 very hard for me. It really is. It really is. I want to get behind these guys. I really do. But how many times can we see the same match over and over again? Legitimately every week. Legitimately every week. How many times can we see the same match every single week? Every single week and say, oh yeah, it's great. Oh yeah, it's great. Oh yeah, it's great. I swear, they've ruined the Judgment Day. They ruined Owens and Zayn's tag team title reign. If anything, I would not be surprised if it comes to an end. Because if you ask me, this is probably the most unpredictable match on the show. This is the one match on the show where I can honestly expect a title change. I would not be shocked at all if this is where we get a title change. Not going to lie to you. Now, the question here lies within JD McDonough. JD McDonough, he is probably the most intriguing aspect about this entire scenario. Is he in or is he out of Judgment Day? Rhea Ripley did say if Finn and Damian do not win the tag team titles, then there's going to be some changes made around here. Now, I feel as though in some way, shape, or form, JD McDonough is going to play a factor into this. JD McDonough will indeed play a factor into this. The question here is, which route are they going to go? They could have Sami and Kevin Owens retain. And if Sami and Kevin Owens retain, I mean, they got plenty more tag teams to feud with. Maybe we get Owens and Zayn versus Drew McIntyre and Matt Riddle at the next pay-per-view. They could always fight the Viking Raiders. Tommaso Ciampa is trying to get back DIY. So when Johnny comes back, DIY versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, that right there, that's a picture-perfect feud that could easily rival the Usos versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. However, I don't know. Something tells me that JD McDonough could very well be the reason why Damian Priest and Finn Balor become the champions. Now, there was a report from Sportskeeda stating that they're not looking to kick anyone out of Judgment Day. So they're not looking to kick anybody out of Judgment Day for the time being. Fine. They're not looking to kick anyone out of Judgment Day. But yet, they have been teasing this and teasing this and teasing this. No changes are going to be made, according to Sportskeeda. But no one really has talked about the Judgment Day just adding a new member and making them a quintet instead of a quartet. Having JD McDonough help Damian Priest and Finn Balor win the tag team titles because he wants to join Judgment Day and he's trying to get on good terms with Damian Priest, that's definitely a story that they could tell. Maybe we do see Damian Priest and Finn Balor become the tag team champions, and maybe we do indeed see JD McDonough get added to the Judgment Day on the next episode of Raw. We could see it. I would not downplay that possibility. Maybe this could be all a ruse. Could be all a ruse, because if Rhea Ripley said that there's going to be some changes made around here, what if Finn Balor is in Rhea Ripley's ear? What if he's in Rhea Ripley and Dominic's ear? What if Damian Priest loses this match? What if we indeed see Finn, Rhea, and Dominic turn on Damian Priest, and we do indeed see JD McDonough replace him, I mean, that, again, possibility. I'm just throwing it out there. Even though we've seen this match numerous amounts of times, there are various different methods that WWE can take with this specific match. There's various different ways that this can go. Now, me personally, I would keep it on Owens and Zayn because there's plenty more for Owens and Zayn to do. But if they were to give it to Damian Priest and Finn Balor, I mean, that could open up the door for some interesting storytelling. But if anything, it feels as though the story of them losing feels greater than the story of them winning. That's just me, of course. So we have a pretty solid chance of them walking out victorious. But in the end, I am going to predict Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I'm going to predict them because, to me, the story is greater with them losing rather than them winning. Because we're going to see what kind of changes that Rhea Ripley's going to make. If she is indeed the leader. Maybe Finn Balor's in Rhea Ripley's ear. The Grayson Waller effect with Cody Rhodes. The Grayson Waller effect with adrenaline in my soul. Every thought out of control. Oh! Cody Rhodes. I don't care. I really don't understand why this is even on the show. This is a Monday Night Raw segment, right down to the very last layer. This is why I said it feels like a legit house show. It feels like a show that should be non-televised. There's only one thing that could honestly make this segment worthwhile. Unless this is going to result in Randy Orton coming back and attacking Cody Rhodes, this is a waste of time. What are we going to do? What are we going to do with Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes anyway? Let me ask you that. If Randy Orton returns and attacks Cody Rhodes, which obviously would be the best scenario, that would be the best scenario, what happens then? What kind of explanation are we going to get? Do you even trust that they're going to give us an explanation? I certainly don't. I don't whatsoever. Matter of fact, if anything, they should not be given the benefit of the doubt at all after the horrendous Cody versus Lesnar feud that we got outside of that match at SummerSlam, which was a very good match. I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact of why they're not tying up loose ends with RK Bro. If anything, if Randy comes back, he should be tag teaming with Matt Riddle. We should get Matt Riddle and Randy Orton versus Owens and Zayn, with Owens and Zayn retaining. And then we should get Randy Orton turning on Matt Riddle. And that should be the program going into whatever pay-per-view they're going into, whether it be Royal Rumble, whether it be WrestleMania. That should be where we're getting at. But Randy Orton and Cody, listen, that's probably the best route to go here, but what exactly would the explanation be? What does Randy Orton have to do with Cody Rhodes right now? It doesn't feel like Randy Orton has any legitimate reason to attack Cody Rhodes. And if he does attack Cody Rhodes, what reason exactly would they give us? I can't really sit here and tell you that, yeah, Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes, it would be one hell of a program. What's the story? Now, granted, the history between them is self-explanatory. That's self-explanatory. There's no reason as to why anyone would not be interested in seeing the feud for the promos and the history lessons between these two and how Cody was under Randy Orton's wing and all that jazz. But at the end of the day, is there a legit reason for Randy Orton to even contemplate attacking Cody Rhodes? No. I just don't feel it. I just don't sense it. Randy Orton and Matt Riddle teaming up would make a lot more sense. If anything, I would actually prefer Drew McIntyre turn heel and he feud with Cody. I don't know, but no Randy Orton, this segment is a complete waste of time. And knowing them, this segment is going to end up being a complete waste of time. Talk show segments should not be placed on pay-per-views. Main event, or what should be the main event. In no way, shape, or form should this not main event the show. If Gunther's not on the show, if Roman's not on the show, this is your main event. Seth Rollins and Shinsuke Nakamura for the World Heavyweight Championship. I'm happy that Shinsuke Nakamura is getting a world title shot. That's where he belongs. Rollins, minus that match with Finn Balor at Money in the Bank, Rollins has probably been on the best world title run of his career. And I'm happy for him. But man, it is very, very, very hard for me to fully invest in this feud. They really haven't given us much of a reason to. We've gotten some decent promo packages from Nakamura, and I appreciate that they've at least given us a story, that they have at least given us a little centerpiece of this feud. It's a lot more than what we got with Cody and Lesnar. That's not saying much. That's not saying much whatsoever, but I appreciate the fact that they brought up Seth Rollins back, and that's going to be the target for Shinsuke Nakamura, because Seth Rollins is pretty much living in pain every day, and I like the fact that, you know, Nakamura is saying that Becky's going to know because she has to help you out of bed every single morning that I did that, and I'm going to take your championship, I'm going to take your pride. I appreciate that they're having him do that, but it feels like this feud does not have the heat that it really should have right now. And it's kind of disappointing. It's kind of disappointing, especially considering who these guys are. If anything, what they could have done is they could have easily have said, and I've mentioned this before, they could have said, hey, Seth Rollins and Nakamura, they've faced each other multiple times. Nakamura has beaten every single individual that he's ever come in contact with here in the WWE except for Rollins. And Rollins could say, I'm the albatross. I'm the albatross that you've never been able to get rid of. So why not? I don't know. Maybe it's just because I think too much. Maybe it's because I think too much. Maybe it's because I'm just so focused on the show. What's going on over here? There we go. Camera went blank there for a minute. Maybe I'm just so focused on the show being the best possible show that it could be, and every single match having the most heat that it could possibly have. I don't know. Maybe I just care too much. That's just me. I just care too much. I just want good pro wrestling. That's all I want. And it feels like these two have not gotten the proper respect that they really deserve, which is sad. It's actually kind of sad if you think about it. Who comes out victorious here? Who comes out victorious here? Again, there is no reason why Seth Rollins should not come out victorious here. The question that I have is, are they going to continue this feud? I guess we will have to wait and see. But if anything, I do believe that Nakamura, he deserves a lot better. So does Seth Rollins. And if you want to continue this feud, I guess you can. Maybe add a little bit more heat to this feud and have it result in some sort of stipulation match. Maybe a no-holds-barred match. Maybe a steel cage match. Something along those lines. I wouldn't mind a TLC match. We haven't seen one of those in a while. You want to give us a TLC match between Rollins and Nakamura for the World Heavyweight title? That would be interesting. I wouldn't mind it. What happens with Nakamura following this? I truthfully don't know. To be quite honest with you, after this feud, I feel like Nakamura's just going to go back to the mid-card and he's just going to be an undercard scrub again. And that's not really fair to him. We'll see what happens. But in the end, I do believe that if they give him the proper amount of time, These two are going to put on a great match. All of their matches that they put on have been great. Seth Rollins is doing the best work of his career right now. And when Nakamura is on, he is on. And I do believe that he's going to bring his A game for Sunday. And the back is going to be a major focal point of this match. Seth Rollins will retain the World Heavyweight Championship no matter how you look at it. Seth Rollins should not be losing that championship until he hits 200 days minimum. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That is all that I got for you here on the rundown for WWE Payback. I would like to thank each and every single one of you who tuned into this stream. You guys are great, and we got plenty more material to come tomorrow with the Dynamite Watch Along with Sarah Hapka and Earl Cole. Thursday at 4 p.m. with the rundown for All Out. And, of course, next week, 2 rewinds, one for Payback and one for All Out. No LFU on Saturday because I will be down in North Carolina for my cousin's wedding. Once again, thank you all. Like, comment, subscribe. Check out all the links in the description. My name's DJ Storms. This has been the rundown. But before we get out of here, I want y'all to tell me, people, or say it with me, who runs the IWC as Payback continues to play in the background? Who? But DJ motherfucking Storms. Don't you forget it.
'Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution.